Hello out there in Nala land. We begin a very exciting new beginning now with Sefer Bereishit, Mir Hashem. And of course we begin by commencing by saying that this year, as always, is dedicated to Nishmas Rachel Leah, Paschaim Si Aleha Shalom Sheva Lichtige Gan Eden. I want to mention that first of all we want to commend the great efforts of our technician Levi Bamzer, wish him also on a brother's engagement. And we also, now I'm forbidden to mention the brains behind this whole Na'aleh is anonymous. I'm not allowed to mention who this woman or this man is. Let me just say that they are so clever, they should be giving all the shurim. So clever, so smart, so kind, so benevolent, magnanimous, philanthropic, and generous. But I can't mention them, so I shan't. But I would mention, and I shall mention, and I hope I'm not forbidden to say this, that the reason we're starting a new course now is because a person very important on the advisory board of Na'aleh is in Adam Gadol, New York, a Rosh Hashiva, Rabbi Heshi Reichman, and I believe it was his idea that there are people whose knowledge of learning is somewhat nominal, albeit they attend shul every week, they hear the rabbi's drosha, and year after year they hear the rabbi's sermons, and yet their knowledge is somewhat lax regarding the story of the Chumash, the parsha Shavua. Now you can have tremendous shurim like that of Mrs. Rebson Smiles, who go deep into the depths of simplicity in comprehending what the parsha at one point is. However, there are people who don't know the storyline of the Chumash. So I've already said in the last few sentences clever and smart several times about how clever and smart Nala is. But the one they didn't do which was so clever is they asked me, little me, to tell you the storyline of the Chumash and the Parsha Shavua. So I'm hardly up to the task, but we're going to try. It's an important project, just to know what the story is. You're not going to get the plums and the depths in this year. That will leave for Mrs. Miles and all the other wonderful deep teachers like Rebson Heller and Rabbi David. What we're going to do is just try and understand Pshuto Shemikra, the simple words of the Parsha Shavua. We can't take it all upon ourselves, but we're going to do the first two prakim of each Parsha. That will be our goal. We're not going to be as shallow as a bottle cap, but it's not going to be deep, but yet to comprehend the story. And so with great excitement we begin Chumash Bereishit. For this class, it is not necessary to have a Chumash open in front of you. I shall read you the psukim. As a matter of fact, I may even stick to the English. And when necessary, we want to make a diuk on the Hebrew, we'll go back to the Hebrew. So Bereishit Bara Elokim, and we know in the beginning, and this itself is room for tremendous darshanim, chazal, rabbosai, every single darshan worldwide begin Bereishit Bara. In the beginning, God created es hashamayim v'es haaretz, the heavens and the earth, v'haaretz. And the earth was astonishingly empty, tohu vavohu, and with darkness upon the surface of the deep. There was nothing there at all. There was a creation, but there was nothing there. Al pnei ha'tahom, and the divine presence hovered upon the surface of the waters. And God made that famous statement, E squared equals, that's not what he said. He said, V'yomer Elokim, and God said, Yehi or, let there be light. And with that simple formula, there was light. And God looked at the light, ki tov, and he saw that it was good. And God separated between the light and the darkness. And God called the light day, and night he called night. And darkness he called night. We see here that darkness itself is also creation. People think that light was a creation, and light, the opposite of light, the absence of light is darkness. Not true. We see here that also darkness was a creation. He created l'chosh ha'karalai, he created night as well, and night he called, and darkness he called night. V'yer v'yivoker yom echad. And there was evening and there was morning the first day. And this, of course, is the biblical day. It begins with evening. That's halacha reckoning of time, and the only time that, according to halacha, that night doesn't begin the beginning of the day, and evening doesn't the shkia time, right before sunset, doesn't indicate the end of the day, is regarding the eating of kodshim. Regarding kodshim, that's the only time the flesh of the offerings, the day begins with the morning and concludes with the following night. Otherwise, it always begins in the evening unto evening. The pasuk in Vayikra. Now, the words are, Erev means evening, and Boker is morning. There was evening and there was morning the first day. Erev, the root of Erev, evening, is from Erev, which means to mingle. It's because that is the time when forms mingle. There's light, there's darkness, there's a amorphous sense Boker comes from the word levaker, to examine. In the morning you can examine because things are much more easily distinguishable. So now we begin the second day, which is going to be the creation of the firmament. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. And let it separate between water and water. Bein mayim l'moyim. Let it separate between water and water. So Rashi notes over here that over here after the second day it doesn't say ki tov and God saw that it was good, because like all the other days of creation, because the task of creating water was commenced on the second day. It wasn't completed until the following day. So you can't say good about something unless it's completed. Water, the separation began on the second day, but it wasn't completed till the third day when they gathered and became seas. Incomplete work